A family pushes to keep a man in prison. Albert Pauley was acquitted of murdering Dominique Barnett, but was sent to prison for obstruction of justice.
Now Pauley is eligible for parole. For every crime, there's a story, and the truth matters. Here's ABC4 senior crime and punishment correspondent Marcos Ortiz with tonight's Justice Files.
Albert Pauley claims he's no longer that, quote, dumb guy, and has learned a valuable lesson while in prison. But the victim's family doesn't believe him one bit.
I just don't feel that 3 years for the life of my son is long enough. I just don't feel that that's a long enough time.
In February 2019, shots rang out of an apartment in Orem. When police arrived, they found Dominique Barnett dead from a shotgun blast. According to prosecutors, Barnett was with his fiancée and their child, and he confronted Pauley about a drug deal. Pauley claimed it was self-defense, and a jury acquitted him. But they found him guilty of lying during the trial and was sentenced to prison for obstruction of justice. At his recent parole hearing, he offered a somewhat apology while explaining his actions.
I'm sorry for how everything went. Although it was everything was in self-defense, I still feel terrible about killing that man. And, I just know how irresponsible it was for me to run back to California and for having a loaded firearm being thrown off a balcony.
During his parole hearing, Pauley claimed he was a changed man, no longer that 20-year-old whose life was dominated by drugs and bravado.
I kind of built this persona around me and, was kind of, in a sense, portraying a character. And along came with that was, I decided to surround myself with not the best of characters.
Also present at the hearing were family members of Barnett, including his one-time fiancée.
It's kind of hard. My daughter was there to see the only man she loved. But it's not one life that was lost, because these kids don't have that type of life with their father.
By fleeing, Barnett's mother claimed Pauley prevented police from finding witnesses, which hindered the investigation.
I just feel like that, had he not done that, and those people, maybe wouldn't have taken off and kept their story to themselves and, probably going to go to their grave with their story. But, I have a dead son today because of that.
Except for a minor blemish while in prison, Pauley stayed out of trouble, and he's working towards a degree in college once he gets out of prison. But for Barnett's family, they believe his life is worth more than just 3 years.
I have no closure. 3 years is not enough for me to have any closure. I still hurt. My heart is still broken.
As of today, the Board of Pardons hasn't decided whether or not Pauley should be released from prison or remain locked up. We'll keep you updated. For the Justice Files, Marcos Ortiz, ABC4 News.